The market share for the full-size SUV consists of over 2 million vehicles each year, and Infiniti is looking to grab a bigger piece of that pie, and they're going to do so with this. This is the 2018 Infiniti QX80. Yes, the naming scheme is odd, but if you've been paying attention, QX means it's an SUV or a crossover, and 80 is the big dog. This is the 3-row. This is the giant one. The primary markets for this vehicle are North America, Russia, and the Middle East. And it's a vehicle that makes a lot of sense in all three of those markets. It has a big V8 up front. It fits 7 to 8 people, depending on how you have that second row configured. And it's pretty nice inside. Infiniti is trying to make this a seriously luxurious vehicle to compete with the likes of, say, the Mercedes GLS and the forthcoming BMW X7. This isn't an all-new vehicle. It's basically been slightly reskinned. The interior is a little bit nicer. On the outside, the lines are a little bit more pleasing to the eye. Infiniti likes to tout the fact that they've raised the headlights up 100 millimeters, and apparently that is a very big deal. I do know that they look nice. The design of them, the LED lighting elements are very nice as well. The side steps are a little bit wider. This comes with standard with 20-inch wheels, and you can get it with an optional set of 22s with very cushy sidewall. In fact, the tires being used here, they're dualers, they went with a softer sidewall than the prior gens, which makes for a cushier ride. So don't pretend like this is some serious off-roader. However, we know you will see these ripping dunes in the Middle East. Under its skin, there is some Nissan Patrolness to be found if you look hard, but you won't find it in the suspension. This is a soft ride. It's quiet in here. It's heavy too. That's how you get the quiet. You increase the NVH by adding sound deadening materials, and that makes a heavier vehicle come to life. I've read it's somewhere around 6,100 pounds, which is a colossal amount of weight. Now on the towing side, it can tow up to 8,500 pounds, which is pretty nice. That's a good amount for any toys you might be carrying along with you. And you'll be towing them thanks to that 5.6 liter V8 engine sitting under the hood. It's making 400 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque. Backing that engine up is a 7-speed automatic gearbox. You can shift it yourself by doing so down here on the shift lever, but there are no paddles behind the wheel. Now you're sending power out primarily to the rear wheels. The cheaper one is just the 2-wheel drive version, but this one is equipped with all-mode 4-wheel drive. In standard, just automatic mode, it's sending 100% of the power to the rear wheels. It can send up to 50% of that to the front wheels as needed. Now you can lock it into a 4-high setting, or you can even lock it into a 4-low if you really need to crawl on some slippery stuff. So it does have a 4-wheel drive system, but just cruising around town, you're only pushing the rear wheels, which should help with fuel economy. It doesn't, because this is so heavy. You're going to get under 20 miles per gallon on the highway, and if you're towing anything, obviously that's going to drop tremendously. Around town, hopefully you're getting the EPA estimated 13 miles per gallon, but don't be surprised if you're dipping into 10 if you have a big heavy foot like I do. And if you do have a heavy foot, the engine does sound good. There's good tone, there's good noise to be found there. Besides the engine though, this is a comfortable cruiser. These seats are really nicely stitched together. There's good padding. There's not tons of, lateral support, but you don't really need that in a vehicle like this. Additionally, there's lateral support to be found under the skin, believe it or not. This Infiniti QX80 has something in common with McLaren. Yes, I didn't say that incorrectly. McLaren, on some of their vehicles, their higher spec cars, uses hydraulic fluid in place of anti-roll bars. So does this. This has a hydraulic body movement control system where it just helps the vehicle not roll as much in corners. It also helps ease the ride over bumpy sections of road. It's a pretty neat system, and it's smart in a vehicle of this size. And this is a big vehicle. But the brakes do a decent job of hauling everything down. There's no problems there. It is a lot of mass, but if you need to panic brake, you can do so. But there are a suite of safety systems on board as well. Infiniti loves to tout their safety systems, like predictive forward collision control, where it's not just looking at the car in front of you, it's looking at the car in front of that car to help predict when it needs to intervene and step in and stop you or reduce a potential forward collision. There's rear parking sensors so you don't hit stuff behind you. It'll automatically brake for that. Lane departure warning, all sorts of safety systems that you come to expect on a vehicle that costs as much as this one does. The base price is right around the mid $60,000 range. The all-wheel drive one jumps you up to about $67,000. Most of them that you're going to see are going to be in the 70s. This one is fully loaded, so it tops out at 82, which is a lot of money, but that's how much full-size luxury SUVs cost. Have you priced out a new Escalade lately? They're ridiculously expensive. Now you can have a bench seat right there in the second row, but this one has twin captain's chairs with a really nice center console. There's entertainment in the headrest. Optionally, you can get that second row heated as well. Of course, the fronts are heated and cooled. There's really nice craftsmanship in here now. You can see the detail in the stitching. The quilting in the pattern in the seats looks really nice. So the wood, the way the color of the wood is burnished, it looks really nice. It feels like a luxury vehicle environment in here. And that's one thing that's going to help Infiniti grab a bit of that market share. You don't need to spend Mercedes, BMW, Cadillac money for basically the same experience. It's still a dated vehicle. This is a new skin. It was reskinned in 2011, but it's basically nearly the same chassis dating all the way back to 2003. This vehicle needs an update. It's most notable in the center console screen and then the screen of information in between the gauges. It just looks like pixely, old school LED stuff, whereas new screens are just very bright, almost, this is like standard definition television versus HD, or even HD versus 4K. The nav needs new graphical updates. So some of the tech, all the tech behind it works fine. It just doesn't look as pretty as what else is out there. But beyond the tech, I can't get over how nice and quiet it is inside. It just goes down the road smoothly. I do wish there was a bit more feedback in the steering. When you have a vehicle of this size, you want to know what the tires are doing. And I don't get that through the steering wheel. It's nowhere near as bad as Infiniti's own steer-by-wire system, which they're still working out the kinks on that one. And I do believe in the future, that could be a very cool system down the road when it's more finely tuned, much like electronic power steering. When that first came out, engineers weren't really tuning it in a way that felt natural. Electronic power steering systems have come a long way, and they're actually tuned really well now, and you can find good examples in sports cars or just regular old family sedans. Here, it's just a little bit too light. There's really no feedback that's properly filtering through or being dialed in, and just on center, it just feels too soft. In a vehicle this heavy, I want the steering to mimic that heft. I don't want, no power steering around town. I want there to be assistance. It's just, maybe there could be less of it here on this vehicle. As an option in the full-size luxury SUV segment, however, this is a pretty good choice based on the price compared to competitors. As equipped, $80,000 is a ton of money, an absolute ton. But this doesn't feel any less worthy than a $100,000 Cadillac Escalade. This should compete very strongly against the likes of the Yukon Denali and the Tahoe. Is it as nice as a Range Rover? No, not much is, but those are very expensive for a reason. Is it as nice as a Mercedes? It's pretty darn close.
What's going on, everybody? I hope that you guys enjoyed that. Max Jack here with you, as well as Guitarmageddon ZL1 in my truck today.
So we just wanted to take a few minutes here and give you guys a quick update on the featured segment that will be on Truck Central. If you haven't checked that video out, please do. We'll link it right above. It basically shows you a way to get your truck featured on the channel.
So guys, it's been remarkable. We've received over 100 submissions in the first 4 hours that the featured video went live just a few weeks ago. We want to thank you guys very much for making those submissions, as we are reviewing them to the best of our ability.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. I was actually shocked that many emails were sent through.
Oh, it's insane. The notifications were just popping up like crazy.
You guys definitely want to be involved, and it seems like the truck crowd has a totally different presence than, the generic just car crowd.
It's absolutely remarkable, and we definitely encourage you guys to continue to submit your rides. We want to see what A, you have, and B, what you're excited about, because again, as I mentioned earlier in this video, 2018 is going to be filled with reviews on Truck Central, so definitely get your submission submitted.
Now, we just want to let you guys know that it's definitely going to take a while to get to all your emails. There's definitely a lot of variety here with trucks. I mean, we've got regular just simple bolt-on trucks to literally fully built trucks, and we're excited to get to each of them and read all the emails, and there's definitely gonna be a lot of variety on the channel.
So as we filtered through these questions, we noticed that there were trends with a few that continued to reappear. Part of the reason for this video is we wanted to address those questions so you all had a better understanding as to how we were going to structure this segment.
The main question that's been asked mostly on all the emails is, are you guys only featuring trucks? And the answer to that is no. What we're gonna do is we're gonna feature pretty much anything body on frame. You know, people ask if can you feature my Jeep, or can you feature my like Land Cruiser, like stuff like that,
or some sort of an SUV.
Right, and the answer is yes, we will. So if you want to submit that, go ahead. We want a lot of variety on the channel, pretty much anything from mild to wild.
So we've gotten a lot of questions about the fact that we are located in Pennsylvania, and the questions are saying, well, I'm in Texas, Florida, California, or somewhere that's not Pennsylvania. How are you going to review my truck? Well, that's a great question, and the solution to that is we are going to initially start off with truck reviews in Pennsylvania, but this is going to grow or expand into more of a national campaign. So we're already working with other YouTubers that are scattered across the nation that is going to allow us to have a wider presence. So as we continue to grow, we will have the flexibility to hit on other states.
So going along with the question that Jack answered, there have also been ones that say, but I live in Europe, Australia, different countries. And don't worry, we got you covered too. And this also goes along with people that, you know, if you have trucks that you don't want to drive, if you don't want to make the haul to wherever you need to go, what we're going to do is we're going to be putting together kind of like a little compilation video, and we're going to have pictures of all the trucks that have been submitted, and even though your truck and you won't be there in person on the video, your truck will still be there as far as a photo goes, and maybe even some information about your truck. So no matter where you are located in the world, pretty much, you'll be able to have your
covered.
Yeah, we got you covered. You'll be able to have your truck featured on the channel.
So one of the last big questions that we got is it too late to make a submission? And absolutely not, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that's going to be ever evolving, and right now we're only in the birth phases. So we continue to encourage you to make your submissions, because really this is just the beginning of Featured, and we plan on growing this.
Yeah, basically, just keep sending us your trucks and we'll keep driving them. We'll keep featuring them.
So again, guys, thank you for watching this video. We really hope that you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's gonna be a great opportunity for you guys to see how we're gonna structure this featured segment, as well as it'll give you ideas as to how you can submit your truck. We definitely wanna see what you have, because again, this is all about you guys, the enthusiasts.
And if you're a truck guy and you're not already subscribed, you probably should. So be sure to hit that button.
We'll see you guys in the next upload.